Greetings and salutations. Don't adjust your screens. There has been a slight change. So, unfortunately, Tess again couldn't join us this week, and unfortunately, it looks like potentially they might not be able to join us going forward. So, we've put Fly 3 or Die on a tiny bit of a hiatus, break, pause, call it what you will. We will be back with it as soon as we can figure out a replacement. However, in the meantime, because most of us stream elsewhere and announce that we'll be going live, we decided to go live. And at the last minute, it was like, nah, screw it, throw it together. And we're going to be doing a Starfinder Society scenario instead of our usual schedule.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it.
Yep.
There we go.
As you can see, we've kind of thrown this together a little bit of a last minute, so bear with us, because it was one of them things that's I didn't want to continue on the story without all the players present, especially, if we're having to bring somebody new in. But at the same token, it was like we've had to throw this together in the last 4 hours, 3 hours, something like that. So hope there might be teething problems, but we'll get it sorted. As you can see, the stream is called Spaceflix and Kill, as the crew aboard the BD are sat there watching their holo-vids, and the camera on the holo-vid pans round and sees a uplifted bear. What does this uplifted bear look like, Bernard?
It is difficult to tell that this creature is an uplifted bear. So sealed is he in his heavy armor from his days working as an enslaved mining. Basically, it's a mining tool is what he was used for. Slams down in heavy armor, metal plated, awkward looking, huge bulking creature, and looks around through the barely visible visor. You just see the steam emanating on the screen from his snout. Wielding, looking around grimly and slowly. How are things here at the moment?
You're actually currently sat at a table in the outdoors of Quadrat on Castrovel. The camera continues to pan around, showing more of the cafe, and then a plant creature. Aster, do you want to describe your character?
Yeah, Aster is a chiseled male Goran Oakling.
Oakling, yes.
Yes, I was like, Oakling sounds really childish. That's not right. Aster is anything but childish, if you ignore the fact that he's walking around with a blanket over his shoulders nigh constantly. Not a petal out of place. He seems almost too perfect, but the condescending look in his eyes lets you know that, in fact, he probably isn't as sweet as he looks.
All right, and the camera zooms out a little bit further, and it seems like you're coming to the end of your brunch, maybe? It's certainly not the right time of day for lunch, but I don't think anybody will get up early enough for breakfast, so probably brunch. The camera continues to pan around until it settles briefly upon a cat folk. Klingle.
A patra, to be precise. However, this patra is much larger than your average catfolk. He is super muscular, muscles bulging out of his heavy armor as well. We've got like 3 space marines up in this room. But he is very much colored like a tiger, with like big, thick black eyebrows, orange fur with black stripes. If we're finishing up brunch, he's like licking his claws clean, which are much sharper than your average Patra's claws. I took an alternate racial ability to give me an unarmed lethal strike. He also has an ember flame doshko on his back.
Then the camera continues to pan around to Venture Captain Arvin with his trademark green on green hair with a green jacket and spiked shoulder pads. Don't think I've ever noticed that before. He is a Lashunta, a male Diama Lashunta, and he invited you here for brunch at Cafe Karabat, 2 Qs. As the server removes empty plates.
Castrovel?
You're on Castrovel.
Okay.
As the server removes empty plates from the table, Venture Captain Arvin speaks. I do admit this brunch was a surge, my guilt about the assignment I'm giving you today, as you won't be getting the chance or any dining for a while. He takes out a datapad and swipes the screen, sending out a file that contains basic information and images of a star system in the vast, labeled Menthra's system. We've had some forays into this system in the past, but the Society established a research outpost on one of the asteroids to survey the system more thoroughly. The agents inside have been working tirelessly for well over a year now, and they deserve a break. But since we can't leave the outpost unoccupied, we'll need a skeleton crew to take over while the primary crew is gone. This is your assignment. Travel to Outpost 634 to relieve the crew and remain there while the crew return to Absalon Station and relax and spend some time with their families. Given how time in the drift is nebulous, you'll be at the outpost from anywhere from 5 to 9 weeks. I know this is hardly the most interesting missions, and the most I expect you'll have to do is make sure the equipment stays maintained. The crew will brief you on the details of what you'll need to do during your stay once you get there. But I don't believe there'll be anything particularly technical. The outpost is relatively self-sustaining, and your ship is loaded with enough supplies for months. When you return, you can dine at any restaurant on the station. My treat.
I think Bernard would lean forward with his sizable bulk, breathing onto his visor. What kind of work does this station do, Venture Captain Arvin?
It's mainly research and surveying, of the system. It was not really known to us before we set up the outpost, and rather than ferrying ships to and from such an outlying place, we set up a permanent outpost there for crew to maintain watch over the system.
What's the hunting like on this planet?
It's an asteroid. I don't think there'll be much in the way of hunting.
Boring.
There's a UV lighting on the ship, right? On the ship, in the research station, the place where the 3 of us don't look exactly like we're meant to go.
There is a hydroponics room that can be used for yourself as needed.
Well, that's really fun. We're not expected to do any actual research, right?
No, you're just there to make sure that essentially that everything remains functional. If there's anything that goes wrong, as long as it's not catastrophic, you can...
Catastrophic. Look at Quingle.
It should just be, housekeeping.
And Guys, do any of you have any what's the word? Skills with, fixing machinery and that kind of thing?
I have hit things until they work once more several times. Several times they stopped working abruptly.
You have definitely chosen the right team for the job, Adventure Captain. Definitely.
I knew it. I have a knack for these things. I have absolute confidence in your abilities.
Clearly,
Are you?
Sarcasm isn't something he's skilled in.
Are you expecting trouble at this station 634? Looking around at my fellow beefy boys.
Not that I'm aware of. The crew send regular reports to the Loyal Spire complex, and none of them contained information about significant dangers. Their reports typically detail the mineral discoveries in the asteroid belt, along with interesting reports of ancient starship fragments adrift in local space. However, it can take weeks for the reports to reach us, so we can't be notified of changes immediately.
Sounds like easy babysitting money.
I hope there's recreational activities on the station, because by God, I kind of worry that Klingle will start hunting us instead.
Sounds quite fun.
Just make sure I stay well fed.
I mean, they've had several requisites for entertainment facilities, and I would expect them to be set up already on the asteroid. You should be fine.
How is the asteroid for people of my size?
You should be able to get around okay. I mean, it might be a little bit of a light squeeze, but might help once you're settled to take off the tin plate.
That does not happen. I will squeeze, as you say.
And just to clarify, we get a free... Once we're back, you're going to treat us to a meal in any restaurant here on Castrovel, right?
Absalon Station.
Absalon Station. Any restaurant in Absalon Station, even better.
But I suppose for this, if you want, you can also take it on Castrovel. Any way you like.
I look at the other two in with a look that says, "We're going to choose the most expensive place, right?"
I can eat in great volume.
Something raw would be nice.
And consider it a deal, then. I think.
Yes.
We've prepared a Pegasus starship for you. It's loaded with supplies, 10 spacesuits, ready-to-eat meals of various flavors, enough to feed a family of 6 for about 3 months.
All right.
Does it have autopilot capability? I am not great behind the wheel. I don't know about my colleagues.
No, people take me places. I don't lift fingers.
I think I put a point in piloting.
According to your stat sheet, yeah, you put a point in piloting.
We are deployed more than we are taking ourselves places.
But yes, it shouldn't be... It's not complicated, and we're not expecting any trouble, so, it'll be a smooth enough ride.
You've never traveled with Klingle before, have you?
Klingle doesn't like smooth rides. Klingle only likes talking in third person. So.
I do love a good third person.
Do you still have the little pointy laser, Aster? It helped on the last long journey.
Probably somewhere.
All right. If you've got no further questions, does anybody want to do a culture or diplomacy to gather further information on the Mantras system?
Yeah, I would like to try diplomacy, please.
I would also like to try diplomacy.
I can do culture if you'd rather.
Either or.
What a pain. That's a 10 from me.
Bernard has got 22 for his diplomacy. People, listen to my words.
You don't let them go until they give you an answer. The Menstra system is home of the Menstari species. The Starfinder Society found evidence of their presence on Kulkan now to be the moon orbiting the gas giant Kunkanu. Anu? I'll just dump that into chat because made up words are always fun.
Kukanu.
Long before the Starfinder Society discovered Mantras, a natural disaster destroyed the entire Menstrani civilization. The residents of one of the Menstrani cities attempted to survive by binding their souls to the moon, but only succeeded in trapping their spirits, unable to return to life or move on. Members of a Starfinder Society freed their spirits, allowing them to finally find rest. Menstrani refugees fled long ago from the system, but later became known as to the society as the Scoured Stars. The god of the Scoured Star system, Kadrakal, sent Menstrasi survivors a beacon known as a tear to summon them back. The Menstrasi did not answer the call and instead sealed the tear away, where former first seeker Jadundra eventually found it.
Oh
Question?
God, are there going to be undead? Oh God. Oh God. No. We're only getting paid a meal?
That's a good point. We didn't decide if we were getting actually paid.
I've learned it's not very profitable working for the Starfinder Society, but it can be exciting.
Have you hunted undead before, Kringle?
They're easy enough to smell.
Oh, even the ghosty ones, you know, the ones that are hard to hit.
There is that, which is why, and he turns around his Doshko, and you can see a fusion on there. He's like, that's why I put magic on my weapon.
Oh, hey, nice.
All right.
One of us thought of it. Let's go.
Aren't you a spellcaster?
I am, but someone wanted heavy armor instead of Mystic Strike, so meh.
Yes, but your spells actually count as magical.
Oh, they do, but one of them doesn't affect undead.
Oh.
Mystics aren't built for fighting undead. What do you think we are? Some sort of beacons for those who wish to pass on? No.
So, as you make preparations to embark upon the prepared Pegasus, you all receive the message.
Huh.
Yeah. This is where I squint because I'm blind.
You can zoom in.
I'm zooming in.
Somebody want to read out the message for the sake of the audience, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to read it. Leave me alone. I'm zoomed in and it's got half of it off. There we go. I've got it.
Greetings. I was informed of your assignment to Outpost 634. You may be aware that the Mentras system was where I originally discovered the tear, The artifact that ultimately led to the Scoured Stars incident. It's not good news. As such, I've kept a close eye on the system ever since. Reports from Outpost 634 cited some unusual starship fragments discovered in the nearby asteroid belt. During your stay at the Outpost, learn whatever you can about these starship fragments. I would appreciate a copy of any data you discover upon your return. Good luck, Starfinders, from Jadnura.
Jadnura. Aren't they some sort of high up in the society?
First Seeker, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that who they are?
They were the first Seeker. They stepped aside at the after the Scoured Stars. Oh no, that was it. They were trapped in the Scoured Stars incident.
Oh, shit.
So then there was second Seeker, forget their name, who was in charge of the faction. And then ultimately, one after the Scoured Stars incident, first Seeker Jurunda came back, was kind of expected, or it was sort of like and ahhing amongst Starfinder Society as to who would be left in charge. But ultimately, Jurunda stepped down, and second Seeker became first Seeker, and I wish I could remember their name.
So they're not Starfinder associated now, then, I guess.
I mean, once you get, they were so the Starfinder Society has 5 factions. They were the leader of one of those factions. So even if you were historically the leader of a faction, even when you retire, as it were, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to remember you.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure with the Seekers, you can faction yourself under the guy who took over when they went missing. And when they came back, there was an option to become one of that alignment, but under Jadnor instead.
Like
I don't know whether I don't know whether that's still the case because I've not been in the society circle for a long time now.
Yeah, it's been a while since I did my research on this. But yeah, they were, when they originally returned, that was the time where it was pretty much discussed as to who would be taking over the faction. And then ultimately, I believe Jurunda stepped down and it was left to the second Seeker to become the first Seeker.
Can we verify this message is from Jadnura?
Make me a computers check.
Can I mash it with his palm? No, actually, he's quite good at computers. There we go. I'd say, there's a creature in the way. 23 for computers check from Bernard.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's signed off with the correct cryptographic signature to be from Jurunda.
Jurunda known to be quite well off. Is that likely to be a reward?
I mean, there might be a reward. More chance of a reward if you bring back what he asks.
It's good point. Interesting. Maybe the research is not as boring as it sounds.
Oh, good, because it sounds pretty boring.
We're on Castrovel, so Klingel's like looking around and like sniffing at lesser beings as they walk past.
You also smell yarrow berries.
Too sweet for my palate.
See, this is why I like Klingle. He has the flesh bags on the right level of social hierarchy where they belong. Let's go.
And now we work out why Bernard is never out of armor.
allergic
All right.
to any of these people.
See, if I never let Asta bite me, he's never going to realize that actually vegetables are tasty. So,
You board the Pegasus and begin your journey. It takes you 24 days through the drift to
Oh my
arrive
God.
in the Mentra system
Jesus.
near the asteroid housing Outpost 634. Who's piloting? Is it going to be Kringle?
It's me. Kringle,
Asta buckles like
baby.
three different seat belts,
I got a whole +4 to my piloting check.
5 seat belts.
The view screen shows a small building constructed of prefab structures built on the pockmarked surface of the larger asteroid on the edge of the belt. The comms lights up and a recorded message plays. You are approaching Starfinder Society Outpost 634. That voice cuts off and another interrupts. Please, give us a ping. By Yasara, we're so bored. There are sounds of a scuffle when the original voice continues. Please be aware that according to Pact World's law, the Starfinder Society has first exploration rights to the Mentra system, as well as any claim to any discoveries of note. Feel free to open a communication line if you request or require aid. After a few moments, the message begins to repeat. Suddenly, the ship's computers blare a warning as they detect surface-to-air weapons powering up at the outpost and locking onto the ship.
The fuck? Something's not right.
No,
Open comms.
His claws scatter
It's more
across
usual.
the dashboard.
It's one of these buttons.
This one, and smacks it with a large fist.
Oh, flashbacks. We're here to relieve you of duty for a certain amount of time.
You get no response on the comms.
Yeah.
Does this thing have weapons? Can we shoot missile?
You feel that the best course of action would be basically just to try and get down underneath the weapons fire.
Okay, moving fast. And
Move very fast. And in the meantime, can we, Bernard, why don't you do one of the scanny things and maybe see if... check for life signs? I don't know. What the frig are they doing?
I think to check for any
Can I have
threats.
a piloting check, please?
Sure.
Maybe it's those goddamn spoopy ghosts.
That is a 13.
13. All right. Everybody take 5 points of damage as you are jarred by a laser blast that hits the ship.
Ooh, this mission's getting more and more exciting by the second.
Yes, let us find out who's fired those lasers. And repay them in kind. Can I do a scan to see if I can find out what's causing, or if there's any information
Yeah,
about the
maybe
base?
a computers check.
It is a 19.
19.
Computers check.
You realize, or your scans indicate that the weapon, while fairly powerful, is also inaccurate and has a very long reload time, as it has to charge back up again. It's coming from the outpost itself.
The outpost is shooting us with puny weapons that take a long time to reload. I advise we invade immediately.
Ooh,
No,
invasion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's go. Teach us freaking flashbacks what it's for.
I will get my way to a door. It takes a while. Was there any information? Was there any note of the or any sign of random starship artifacts on the base when it completed the scan?
Not that you could ascertain.
Cool.
All right.
Sidebar. How do I put a item template on a weapon? Of this fusion that I picked out.
It's one of them where it's like the GM would have to do it.
Okay.
For the most part, it's just like I find what's best is if you just drag it to your inventory or put one into your inventory and then put in the location, just put it under, your flame doshko. And it will automatically sort of like tag it to that to remind you that it exists.
But it's not letting me grab it.
I think
No, you have to fake the item, so you just create a new item in your inventory.
Oh, and just
name
write throwing fusion. Okay.
Yeah.
I can throw my two-handed flame doshko.
Nice. All right, because this was thrown together, we're actually going to be using mask mode for the line of sight this week, rather than the line of sight that we've all been used to. So this is one of the things where it's like, it's good because you'll actually get to see all the action, no matter which corner they're hiding around.
Ooh.
Some sort of loading cart train type thing,
Or are we still? Is this our ship, or have we landed?
You've landed.
I think we landed on what that's like the atmospheric field, as it were, I'd guess.
Ah.
You've basically landed somewhere over there, and you've had to basically suit up and go through no atmosphere to come to this force field barrier. A humming bright blue force field seals the outpost's artificial atmosphere while allowing creatures and objects to pass through harmlessly. Inside, the walls are rough, natural rock, while the floors are smooth cut stone. Much of the structure is built directly into the asteroid, with technological additions where necessary. I just accidentally scrolled all the way down to the bottom of the document. Two rails traversing back and forth from the Starship landing site serve as docking stations for transport platforms. One such platform sits powered down at the end of the eastern tracks, while the south wall houses two computer workstations, and a large metal door to the west leads further into the outposts.
Are there any
Hello?
signs of weapon-firing idiots here in this bay of some kind?
Why is that so big?
Also, not to give myself too much of a disadvantage, but Bernard is supposed to be large. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big bear.
Oh, I wish I was as big as you.
You are much faster. My food seems to run from me much easier.
I think you're bigger on the inside, Klingle.
I better be. Giant's blood runs through these veins.
He just wraps his blanket around him a bit tighter. It's just like, let's go.
There doesn't appear to be any signs of any creatures.
It's terrifying watching you move.
I see. We're moving that way.
Is this a door, by the way? Sorry.
Yes,
That
it is a door.
the door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we should split up, is what you're saying. I can go that way for sure.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's not a door. That's not a door.
Oh,
That's
damn it. He slams his fist on it.
He just runs up and just like, yeah.
Sorry, I thought I saw something out there.
It would have been a good plan.
You just see Asta just slowly putting away the laser pointer. Like, yeah.
I'm going to draw my throwing Ember Flame Doshko.
I didn't mean it, Klingle. I didn't mean it. I opened the door.
Unfortunately, the door is locked.
Is there a tippy-typey pad somewhere?
There is a tippy pad.
I was engineered for a little bit of tippy-typy. Let me try some.
Try some engineering.
With your dainty bear claws.
I've broken it off the wall with my fingers. I will try to repair. I apologize. Engineering is 23.
Wow, you're actually... To say that you're actually not vastly skilled at these things at this point, you're actually doing fairly well on this.
Bernard has good dice at the moment. Wait until combat starts, then you will see.
When you said that, it's like, whoops, I ripped it off a wall, you were joking, but as you sort of like make the motion for that, you notice that it's haphazardly been taken apart and put back together again in the recent past. You managed to get past the locking mechanism and get the door to open.
Does it appear to have been trapped?
Make me a perception check.
He brings it really close to his face, with his visor, I should say. It is a 5.
It does not appear to be trapped.
Sweet.
In we go.
I open the door. There we go.
Oh, shoot, yeah, I got it. It's one of them where it's like, now I forget that I'm supposed to do this.
I'll walk into the black abyss. I'm not scared. Yeah.
And it is actually fairly dark in here.
I light my beacon, which is gate lamped.
Do I have? Yeah, I got dark vision and low light vision. Hell yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I can see in the low light. I appreciate your illuminating the situation, Esther.
The primary objects of note in this circular room are 2 huge metal trays piled with mineral samples. At each workstation, it appears that someone is in the process of cataloging and dividing up the rocks into smaller samples for further study. A tiny conveyor belt travels through this room, vanishing into the wall nearby an airlock door. More rock sits on the platform next to the conveyor belt. That would be the conveyor belt. That would be the airlock door.
I would like to rifle through these sorted items, see if I can tell what they're doing, why they are separating such things.
Maybe a physical science check.
Let me see what I know about these things. Oh, it's 25. The natural 20. I have seen these rocks.
You recognize that the rocks contain platinum deposits.
Is this valuable stone?
Pilf it, pocket it, sell it somewhere.
Would you like to make a piloting and/or culture check as well?
I will make a piloting check. It is only very slightly worse. not so worse, I should say. He's a 2. Oh no, wait, a 4.
Yep, these are valuable rocks indeed.
I'll show them to the rest of the group. I think I've found some extra payments for this job, eh?
Ooh, how many should we take? And he pulls off his industrial backpack and gets ready to start throwing them in.
How many can I carry? 1 second. Oh, I can carry many. Okay.
You also get the feeling that it would be a lot more profitable if you were to refine the rock first.
Is this a refinery? Is the conveyor belt refinery?
No, through the airlock door will be refinery.
We will put more money through door.
We gotta wait until the end of this job anyway to
take it back.
well,
Yeah.
So let's try not to arouse any suspicion. Not like the last time we went a thieving. And he looks at Bernard really hard.
I'm very noticeable. I'm sorry. I tried my best.
The rocks, real quick, the rocks on the conveyor belt, are they the same as the rocks that were in the piles?
They've not been yet sorted.
Ah, okay. So they're coming through here from the other door.
Yeah, although the conveyor belt has shut down. It isn't working or isn't doing anything at the moment.
Does it look like someone could squeeze down here?
Make me a perception check.
7.
As you look down, it's like at the smallest point, the chute is roughly only 1 foot wide and tall. Tiny creatures could travel down the chute without issue. Small creatures might be able to squeeze their way down with acrobatics checks. Bernard, it's a no-go.
Mm-hmm.
I just nope out of that.
This is an airlock we're in front of, so does this go outside?
It appears to be the outside of the airlock, so this more seems to be a measure of just in case the force field fades.
Got it.
That makes sense.
This door, is it locked?
That's a light. That's a light, right?
What's a light?
Yeah, this pink thing.
Yes, that is a light. It doesn't appear to be true. Oh, wait, no. It appeared to have a biometric scanner, but it doesn't seem to be functional anymore.
So it's not locked, but it used to be.
Yes.
Someone had fiddled with the outside door as well.
Ooh, sabotage. One of my favorite things.
Maybe we should prepare
And we
ourselves.
didn't do it this time.
I open the door.
All right. You open the door, and I need to reveal the room. I forget these things.
Oh, it's tiny. I pat Bernard on the shoulder.
It takes
Rough buddy.
a few seconds for it to cycle. Need to turn that off. There we go.
It's like a cleaning space.
It's a bit. It is just an airlock space. So if Bernard wanted to squeeze in, he could. Otherwise, he'll have to wait for you to cycle the outer door, cycle the inner door, reclose the inner door, and then he'll be able to open the outer door.
Pop his head in. You want me to squeeze in with you, or can I catch the next one?
You see
I'm familiar with the old routine.
Asta just kind of shuffle up into the corner and just like squeeze himself in his bulky, heavy armor.
I think Klingle puts his paws over his nose and is like, all right. Come in.
Very well. Let me just... Sorry. No.
That was my foot. That's my foot.
That's your foot.
My foot.
No, I'm so sorry. I thought that was Kringle. Where's Kringle gone?
I'm like twisted myself. Like trying just to not touch you as much as possible.
It's clean on the outside mostly. Don't worry.
All right, and are you shutting the door behind you, Bernard?
I reach around his back
Yeah.
and tap the button.
All right, and like I say, it takes a few moments to cycle.
How's everyone feeling?
I feel like this is how we die.
No,
It better not be.
I have not eaten much lately. I thought this wouldn't be so bad.
And Are you? The door behind you is now shut. Are you opening the next door?
Yes, God, please.
As you go to open the door,
No.
the
Cool.
ceiling of the airlock seems to slam open, and a bunch of live wires drop down.
Oh my God.
And
Why?
I need. Does anybody know the squeezing rule off of the top of their head?
No.
-4 to dexterity checks and stuff, I think.
Everybody.
Can Bernard try and like put himself in between Aster and Kringle? Give them a bit of help, maybe?
I mean, the electricity is just going to go through you into them.
Because we're all touching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think because he's so big and filling the space, I wasn't sure if he could just take the bulk of the wires, but...
Yeah, if it was something like a flamethrower or anything like that. No, this is you have the entangled condition.
Yeah.
I will apply that. Can I apply that to myself?
You can apply it to yourself, but let us just double check the entangled condition. You move at half speed, you cannot run or charge. You take a -2 penalty to AC, attack rolls, reflex saves, initiative checks, and dex-based checks, dex-based skill and ability checks.
So just -2.
So just a -2, but everybody now in your big, bulking, hulking armor needs to make a reflex saving throw.
14.
It was a 9 from me.
It is 15 from Bernard somehow.
All right, it's a reflex save for half, and the DC was 12.
Screw you guys.
I will take the bulk of it. Oh,
Conspiracy.
I seem to have... I've misplaced it, sorry. I pushed it down towards Aster.
Why did you do it? Why did you push them into the back corner? I knew it. You want to eat me. You all want to freaking eat me.
Oh my God.
You can't.
Does everybody know about gorums and their leaves?
Were they made to be eaten?
We were created to be delicious.
Lucky for you, Klingle is carnivore.
All right, everybody who failed, which is Aster, take 9 points of damage. Everyone who saved, take 5 points of damage. 9.
5. Okay, so I'm almost out of... Well, no, I still have a bunch of... I have 6 stamina points, actually. It's not bad.
Do you want to go back to other room and sit for a moment?
No! We've just started!
I mean, the door, because it activates when you try to go open the door in front of you, it does actually eventually open.
Huh.
Oh, it's a bathroom.
It's a room. Crumbs.
It does have stalls.
Kringle
It's a
pops
toilet stall.
out.
Does it look like a decontamination chamber or something? That also has-
Lockers line the north and south walls of this room, with benches in between. The lockers hang ajar and their contents are spread haphazardly over the floor.
Oh, I'm standing on them. Oh no.
They're open. Really?
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look like they've been opened properly
They've been wrenched open.
by the looks of it.
Damn it, someone already got here and took all the goods!
Weren't we supposed to be meeting people here? Aren't we like the night crew for like a month or something?
Mm-hmm. You think they're dead?
Possibly. If this place has been raided, then the people may be in not a good position.
Anything good on the floor where all this stuff is?
Everybody make
step out of the way.
Everybody is looking. I mean, there's more that side as well.
Standing on everything.
Make me perception checks.
Seven.
Kringle, you find a empty bottle of shampoo with a label on the side that just reads, "Stop using my shampoo."
Oh, I love that brand.
It's handwritten on the side. Bernard, you sift through and find what appears to be the scattered contents of a first aid kit consisting of 3 med patches, 1 basic med kit, 2 Mark 1 serums of healing,
Ooh,
and a chemilizer.
Ooh.
I found what looks like maybe a medicine kit.
I didn't have time to prepare goodie bags for you all, so you'll have to grab these things yourself from the items list.
How many healing kits were there?
Nothing was a healing kit. We got a med kit.
Sorry, med kit, yeah.
There's a basic med kit. There's 2 Mark 1 serums of healing, 3 medi patches, and a chemilizer.
I'll swipe the med kit. And probably the chemilizer as well.
That's cool. I found, would you like a serum of healing, Kringle?
yes. He takes it. He just snatches it out of your hand.
Pop one in his own pocket. Was that everything that we found?
3 med patches. So take a med patch, people.
Yes.
Take a med patch.
You can use those. That's for using it untrained, right?
It helps with something, I remember.
It gives you a +10 to stabilize and something else.
Perfect.
But first aid, long-term stability, treat disease, treat drugs, and poison tests. Let's hope we do not need these.
Oh, Klingle has a feeling we will. Is this another airlock in front of us?
They do appear to be airlock-style doors in front of you, yes.
Can Bernard get low enough to see if there's any feet under the stalls of the bathroom?
I mean, you could just go over there and wrench the doors open. You don't find anybody in this room.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So, is it a door on the left and the right, or?
So you've got some weird stuff going on here. You've got an airlock-style door there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got an airlock-style door the other side.
On the left.
And then you've got a standard door down here.
Oh, let's open that one.
Is it usual for there to be this many airlocks in a place like this?
I think it's gratuitous.
The designer was really into airlocks.
It's redundancy over security. So if there was, this is an Absalon station. If there's a issue with the air containment, then you need to somewhere to fall back to so that you can formalize a strategy for getting out. It's not like you can suddenly call upon the menders to come by and fix things.
The door that we came in from, is that still is that still open?
Yes.
Cool. It's not cycled back to the other way.
No.
Cool, okay. Be careful in the corridors after the last one.
I'm opening this regular door, and he slams it open. I'm assuming it's a push door.
I need to try and figure out which bleeding room that is. Good. You're going exactly.
Slams it open rather than open it.
Yeah, I thought about putting a point into stealth, but it's not a class skill, and
Oh, sweet.
yeah, just didn't feel like it. What are these prison cells?
Make me a culture. Yeah. Suggest what kind of checks to make potentially, if not culture.
Well, I'm not trained. Intimidation.
You scream into the void and try to get answers out of the rooms.
I
You
guess
get no reply.
survival is like the best kind of thing I have in that case.
I'll take a survival.
Oh, natural or dirty 20, unnatural.
Yeah, you actually felt like these are essentially holding cells, which would be used for sealing in contaminated or potentially anybody who needed to be quarantined, hostile creatures, that kind of thing. It's part of any deep space exploration. It's all you will want cells for quarantining. And with a 20, you actually notice that several individuals recently occupied these cells.
It reeks in here. There have been multiple persons who have been, camping out? Hiding, maybe?
Cowards. I turn over in the bed.
Weird.
26 days to sleep to get here, and now that you're here, you're just turning over in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
What were they hiding from?
Probably you.
Well, they didn't know that Klingle was coming. Or did they? Who told them?
Probably that venture captain.
Pretty boy.
You hear Bernard's voice echoing down the corridor. Did you find anything smashable, sellable?
No.
Just some dirty bed sheets.
Not very good.
Well, which way next? Left or right?
Well, that's
There is, by the way,
elevators.
another door here.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
But at the same token, Bernard is kind of waiting in the other room, so...
If you are, let me know if you're going further in, and if there's room for me, I will come and help.
Yeah, there's room down here. Come on, squeeze down if Klingle gets out of the hallway.
be-
Klingle, get back in the room.
All right. I'll scurry back.
Just see the huge size of Bernard, making his way down this small corridor.
You're not squeezing there, but if you move, you'll need to squeeze through this partition here.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, actually, I can probably get here, can't I? If I squeeze ahead of time.
It's not fun, is it? Isn't it?
You just push Kringle and Astra against the walls, and it's like, excuse me.
Coming through. But these beds are smelly.
I open the door.
You open the door, and I've lost the document. This seems to be some kind of clinic. There seems to be a couple of computers, an examination table, and a counter.
Oh, hey, Bernard, there's tappy things in there.
I will have a look to see if I can. If my
I can get
design
there.
is.
Do you think I could get there before I start being crushed against the counters?
That's exactly where the tippy tappy thing
Oh
is.
no!
The room that I'm in at the moment, can I tell if that was this room's purpose, or it's been set up as a impromptu type thing? Are these like permanent barriers, or are they?
Maybe an engineering check.
Okay. Engineering check from Bernard is a 18.
Yes, it does look like this was a permanent feature of this. It wasn't set up hastily.
Let me see what they were studying. Let's have a look.
Crumbs wrong. Are you doing the tippy tappy on the computer?
I'd like to do tippy tappy, see if what their medical information is.
All right, give me a computers check.
Okay. Delicately typing on the small keyboard. For 24.
Damn.
You were just killing it with these checks. You managed to hack into the computer, and the screen background changes to the photograph of a male drow and an older female human smiling together in a garden.
Oh. Does it appear to be family photo?
Family are at least very close work colleagues. Without knowing these people, it's difficult to say.
Is there any information about who they are on the computer?
You'd have to go searching the computer.
Yeah, I'll spend some time seeing what they have been working on, I guess.
All right. As you're doing that, is anybody else doing anything in this room?
Can I investigate the counters here?
Yeah.
What is that thing that Aster is standing on? That square right there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a scanner. Let me move out of the way just so we can see it properly. What is that thing there?
Why can I not? Ah, there we go. It just seems to be sort of like some kind of floor plating leading up to the doorway to the north.
Ah, okay.
Oh, is it in the doorway then?
Oh, there's another door.
There's another door, yep. There's doors everywhere in this bleeding place.
So glad I'm so large.
Could you make a life science or profession lab tech check, please, Astra?
21.
21. The refrigerator seems to be storing several microbe samples. Though they're labeled, you must make a life science check to understand their significance.
They look significant.
They are
Yes.
very...
That's it. It's all like you must make the check to understand their significance. Full stop. Next paragraph. You also find
Bear these in mind for future information.
These right here, guys. These are significant.
It's a good find.
you also find in the cabinet contains a needle, a pistol, a standard syringe stick, and 3 doses of tier 1 sedative.
Ooh.
And ignore that last bit where it says from levels 3 to 4. My bad. I got a little overzealous from copying.
You find something good? Ooh, a
I
weapon!
found a syringe stick, if you want it.
Syringe stick? That's like a melee injection weapon, huh?
Yeah.
I believe so. It's literally a syringe on a stick and you hit
It's a
people with
spear.
it.
I don't know.
It looks like a spear.
Them drugs any good?
I mean, they're good for when you get a bit too hyper. Sedatives?
Could use that on someone else, I guess.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we might find some crazies in here.
I can take the syringe stick. But
Was there a pistol as well?
There is a pistol. A needle, a pistol.
right, I wouldn't mind the pistol because the only ranged weapon I have is my Dushko.
Who has ranged?
Yes, I do not have ranged either.
But yeah, by all means, take them. I don't care.
Bernard, rock, paper, scissors? He holds up his claws.
No, it is much too small for my big hands.
Oh, right. Sweet.
Maybe the jabby stick will help if Aster does not want it for their science work.
Nah, that's too much like homework.
It's like regular-sized needle for me. I will take it.
You take the stick.
I think the needler, if I'm not wrong, can act as a... You can load it with stuff too, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can put syringes in there. Like, you can target your teammates with it and shoot healing serums at them from range.
Oh, nice.
Not great for people like us who have a lot of armor, because it does target KAC.
Oh, does it really?
Oh.
It's one of them things that they kind of put it in there and then failed to realize that hitting PCs is actually kind of difficult.
Yeah,
And-
biohackers get bonuses to hitting their allies, but otherwise.
What do you mean bonuses to hitting allies? You just get to hit allies,
Yeah,
full stop.
do it.
Mhm.
Which is one of them where that's so broken. Comparative to, you can buy shield guns that allow you to give shields temp hit points to to your allies. You've still got to hit their AC.
Do you want the doses for your shooting gun?
So, who's taking this? How many sedatives are there? Sorry.
3.
3.
3. Okay. We can each take one.
Sounds like a good plan.
And then I'll take the needler. Who's taking the syringe stick?
I will have stick if Esther does not need it. I have plenty of room for things.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Is it
your
is it-
tippy tapping.
Is it an action to load it, by the way, or anything like that? Or is it... Is that something we have to do in advance? Or?
I don't know. You'd need to look
Okay.
that up. It's probably in the description of the item.
That's true. But yes, tippy tap.
Tippy
Punch
tappy.
over.
It seems like a lot of the files on this hard drive are corrupted, although you're not sure who or how that occurred. However, you do find one log that seems to still be readable.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There is a log entry.
Read it.
Okie dokie. Log entry 17M. I don't know if that is a date or what. Millie is fascinating. She's extremely intelligent and gentle. She allowed me to take a few DNA samples in exchange for some of Havar's sickle fruit. It's a strange dating ritual of some kind. She loves those fruits, which is good because she gives the rest of us an excuse not to eat them. The food we're giving her seems to have no negative effects on her system, though biologically she bears a few similarities to Pact World fauna and likely originates somewhere much farther away. If we can identify where her species may have originated, it will give us a better idea where these starship fragments came from. It appears to be the data that the Starfinder individual was talking about.
Oh, sounds like they found some sort of creature.
Oh, yes, that makes much more sense. Some sort of creature they were feeding, yes. Doesn't sound like it was going... It sounds like it was going pretty well. Maybe there's a happy creature somewhere in here.
Maybe back up the message and we'll send it on to... What's her face?
Jadundra?
I don't care. Yeah.
No. I've got her email address. I'll back it up and we'll send it when we can.
His.
Sorry. Jadundra at usedtobestarfinder.com.
All right, open the door.
Open the door.
Open
shuffle
the
around.
door. Oh, wait, that's my job. Surveying the wreckage inside this room, it's possible to ascertain that it once functioned as a laboratory. Shattered computer monitors and bent pieces of equipment lie scattered on the rocky floor. An upended tray of rock samples clutters a workstation in the center of the room. Smashed planters leak potting soil mingled with pieces of rotten green fruit onto the floor. More of this odd fruit hangs ripe from a woody shrub in the intact planter to the east.
More science shit. Where the hell are these damn researchers?
The light's tasty, though.
Was the name of the creature Millie in that note? Sorry, I closed the note down.
It was Millie.
Yeah.
Millie, yes.
Millie, are you here?
I'm like sniffing the air, looking for signs of life.
Do these plants look like they've been eaten in any way? Sorry.
No, it seems like they've been sort of like tossed to the floor and have been left there to rot.
Okay.
Do we know how? Can we ascertain a rough time scale from that? Like how long these things would roughly take to rot? For how long it's been this way?
Just skim reading all of this. Make me a life science check.
Cha.
Oh,
27,
nice.
natural 20.
It's-
natural.
Difficult for you to ascertain how long this has been left to rot. But you do identify the fruit growing in the planter is sickle fruit, a shrub native to Triaxis that grows during the planet's summer.
Whoa.
An automatic watering system keeps the plants alive.
Do we know of any creatures that eat sickle fruit from 3X?
Millie.
1 milli.
Wait, Triaxis? Ain't that the dragon planet?
That might be the dragon. Like, yes, it's the dragon planet.
But it hasn't been summer there for, I don't know, centuries.
Nah, I don't know what Triaxis is.
I'm going off my meta knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the Pact World core system. You probably have heard of it.
Right.
At some point in your education, you would have gone through the planets of the star system.
And we would know like dragons, Rhyphorians, aeons long seasons. And so that's the thing, is that it hasn't been summer there in like centuries or something. These are summer plants, you said. I'm assuming you said it out loud.
Yeah, these are summer plants.
So they tend to be a bit of an acquired taste, but it's also because, you can get them to grow on other planets with a lot of tender loving care. It's a fascination amongst the slower or the quicker dying races.
Interesting.
To grow and eat it before, the next season on native Thraxis.
What is this thing that I'm moving away from here in the upper left corner? If you move me, you can see there's like a blue window there. Is that anything?
It might just be artwork.
It usually is.
Yeah, it just seems to be part of the scenery. There's computers in here, there's lab equipment, and I don't know what kind of lab equipment that might be. I mean, it could be a bit of a smelter because they are analyzing rocks.
I see. All right, I see 2 more doors also, though. Hey, Aster, let's open both doors at the same time.
Yeah, let's do it. Where's your door?
Down here.
Did Aster find any whole fruits when they were looking over them? Or are they all rotten and destroyed?
No, these ones on here are ripe, I believe.
Yes.
Cool. Pick a few up, maybe?
Yeah, you can.
Maybe wait until we're leaving to pick them up.
Oh, okay. I will
Because
wait.
if we really are stuck here for 27 days afterwards, then
I meant to maybe to feed to Millie if they're still around. We could.
then yeah, take some.
Okie dokie.
Smart. Don't want a hungry dragon breathing down our necks.
Never met a dragon. Feeding one would be an experience, I guess. But feeding this, not me. This
You'd
food.
think if it was a dragon, though, they would have said it's a dragon. I opened the door.
Wait, we're supposed to count to 3, and I open my door.
Yeah, and you just made the GM's life miserable as I have to try and cut it. Ouch.
Yep,
It's taking too long.
It's just a corridor.
very long one though.
This room.
Ooh. Looks like a sports courts.
Space midden.
You know, I love sport. I almost was an athlete, but they told me I was too brutal on the court.
Aster, you do find a bunch of corridors, nothing of particular interest. This spacious room contains tables and benches running along the eastern wall. A ball court divided by a net occupies the majority of the room, though the court is clearly no longer used for its intended purpose. A nest of old bedding is strewn over the painted floor. Planters in the alcove to the south contain more shrubs bearing the familiar green fruit.
You're saying there's bedding all over the court?
Yes.
That's fucking weird. So I'm gonna like step forward and kind of like, you know, with like a clawed foot. He's wearing Iridishell armor, which I guess is like bug kind of armor.
It is bug armor. Very glamorous bug armor.
It's like shiny, but like his feet and his claws are kind of like exposed, and so he like scratches at the floor with his foot claws and like kind of examines the bedding.
Yeah, make me a survival or life science check.
Survival. The hunter begins his watch. That is a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will get you. You notice that some of the nesting material is these rather long and large spines, as well as you notice gouges on the floor. The floor is still solid rock, but there is gouges on the floor that suggest a massive creature with claws frequently traverse this area.
Whoa. What you were saying, spines?
Yes.
Like
Porcupine spines.
Yeah, not as in like ripped out of somebody's back spine.
I
Sorry.
was like, what? Aster, what is this? What is this? And I'll like pick up one of the spines and like hold it up and kind of hold it up in front of him.
It's a biological weapon pen thing. I don't know. Looks like a needle.
Can you like identify it?
Can I like identify it?
You could try a life science if you wish.
This thing is huge. Oh.
With an 8, I'm like, it probably belongs to that Millie thing.
Oh, Millie is mighty.
Klingle, do you know about dragons? Can they breathe in no atmosphere? And do they space travel?
Oh,
He kind of points towards the large, what I'm guessing is a similar environmental edge, or is it just a window? Is this kind of surface on the far side of the room, or is it?
It appears just to be a window.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the entryway, kind of like.
it like looks out on the asteroid and into space.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Still point out into space, and whilst asking that question.
I know that there are different
Life
colors.
sciences, cultures.
Let's try culture. 7 untrained.
14 for life science.
He's a 2.
Yeah, there are different colored dragons, and they rule.
Yeah, Astra, you know of there are.
Sorry, Chiron, you went out.
Did I go out?
I think maybe when you move away from the mic.
Yeah, I kind of leaned over here a little. Sorry, my bad. There's a large variety of different dragons. It wouldn't be beyond the realms of impossibility that there'd be one or two that can traverse space without spacecraft. But they are a financially large or self-sustaining population, you know, what dragons be like. So they've had spaceships catered to their massive size on their whims.
I mean, I imagine some can fly through space, but most of them are probably going to use a spaceship like a normal person.
Looks like there's more plants down there. And he points down to the south.
Millie is slightly more wild, but
well, Millie's at least as big as you, I'm guessing. Was she nesting on a specific side of the court? Is the net still there?
Make a perception check.
Perceptione. Natural 20.
Nice.
For 20.
Uh-huh.
It seems to have moved and traversed pretty much this entire room, but as you're looking around for sort of like a where it might have been nesting, there does appear on the western door. Southeast west. I might not have. Maybe here. This one.
Yeah. So he runs, hops over the net, and comes over to the door as you're describing it.
Yep, and it seems to bow outwards as if a powerful force attempted to push it open from the other side.
Oh, how did we miss that?
Interesting. From the other side.
From the other side was the Maybe we have found the Lily space. Millie space.
Well, go ahead and find out.
I've got the fruit. I can go in and see if it will listen or be quiet, or what do you think?
Let's open it.
And it is.
Let's just go.
Or should we take a 10-minute rest and a quick break?
I'm up for taking a 10-minute rest.
We did lose a bit of stamina.
Very well.
My 2 points remaining of artificial armor. No, we did.
Maybe a quick game while we rest.
Kringle, tell me of this sport.
Well, back on my planet, we usually use a live ball. Like a little hedgehog thing that rolls up. Armadillo.
Sounds quite barbaric. Sounds quite entertaining, though.
Barbaric. I've heard that one used a lot to describe me. That means mighty and awesome, right?
Correct. Very correct.
Okay, good. He kind of sneers.
In the slave camps, we only had a game called Sport that we played.
So, who won the game between Bernard and Kringle, by the way?
You want to do an athletics check?
Yeah, let's go for it. Is this a bat or a ball? I don't understand how it works.
21.
Oh.
That's also probably because I'm changing the rules every time you gain an advantage.
That's how we played sport. That was the rules of the game. Every game was slightly different.
Well, you should be better at it then.
Yes, this is right. Not good for Bernard. Well done.
You had asked to do the refereeing, but halfway through he fell asleep.
So I feel rested after my embarrassing defeat. Shall we see what's in the Denty room?
Denty room. Denty room. I pull out my Doshko, or just grab it from where I leaned it up against the door and go to like yank this door open.
Yep. And you're just yanking open the door?
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, wrong button. Nope, still the wrong button.
There's
Right
20
button.
of them.
Wrong way. There we go. And... Ba-ba-bum.
Huh. Like a storage chamber, maybe?
This room is foul with the stench of excrement. Hidden among the smashed crates littering the floor are cracked open chitinous exoskeletons of multiple human-sized creatures. A hulking, spined mammal rises from the floor to menace intruders with a grumbling growl.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's adorable.
Oh,
That's amazing.
is that Millie?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's the squirrel Medillo.
It looks like it. Oh, if only we had her during the game, it would have been a lot closer to the official ball.
Well, maybe Millie will listen to us and join in a game. I
it's
have
the
got
fabled armored squonks. That's what that is.
Poop hedgehog. Certainly seems like it.
All right, Bernard, go in there with the fruit and do your thing.
I will go forward.
Whoa.
It's about your size.
Are you even any
Just
good
realized
with
how big it
animals?
was.
Oh, sorry.
I'm good with fruit, and some people say I am like animals, so maybe I've not seen one like this before, though.
How much of fruit did you pick up, by the way?
Probably 2 or 3 pieces.
2 or 3 pieces. Okay.
So for the first time, you'll see Bernard, like a little dark blue sphere of energy will come down, and it will transform into what looks like a shield, but it's also, on the front of it is a large spiral that looks a bit like a drill, back from his days as a miner. And it has a like with his heavy armor, vibes of the Big Daddy, from BioShock kind of feel. But he's going to try and he's defending himself, but he's going in arm first with this fruit outhanded. Millie, it was a good stink hog. Come here.
Is this going to be a survival check?
Probably.
Certainly hope not.
As you approach,
Oh, no.
he leaps up and takes a fruit out of your hand and ravenously devours it.
Seems friendly. Shall I give it another one?
It turns to you and growls and starts baring its teeth.
I think so.
No, Millie, no. Here, have another one, Millie.
And it snatches it off you and eats that again with the same ferocity.
Okay, now show dominance. Grab the back of her neck and let her know that you're in control.
That is good, yes. I will try and intimidate with last one I have to say, yes, you listen to Bernard now, little Millie. Try and impose myself as a big bear.
All right, make me an intimidation check.
Can I aid with that with my, pep talk?
Sure, go ahead.
Crazy cat behind.
Okay, you're aided.
So, an 18 with my aid, thanks to Klingle behind me.
And so, are you giving it the fruit?
This is more trying to maybe stop it from angrily demanding the fruit from me. I'm trying to cow it a little.
So you're probably proffering the fruit, but not giving it to it until it behaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it goes to snatch it, you pull it back, and it's like,
exactly.
no. Yeah, it's just going to maul you.
Roll over, Millie. Oh, no. Millie, no. Bad dog. Oh, it's a large hit. That's not good. Oh, it's much damage as well.
That was a 28 to hit and 13 points of damage.
My shield is not built for this.
Do we want to roll initiative for what we're doing next?
I want to be in photon mode, so yes, I do want to roll for initiative.
Yes.
Bernard, you're blocking the doorway.
I will move
Everybody roll for initiative to begin with.
when I get round to it. Let's have a look. Oh, not too bad. Okay.
17.
Hey!
19 for Bernard. The slow
17 faster.
Kringle, is that your actual modifier on that, by the way?
Klingle. Yeah, it's a +1. Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry.
Look at you two being Dexy boys. +1 modifiers.
It's one of them where it's like, oh god, there's only a +1 on any of them. All right. Bernard, you're up first.
Oh, wow. Okay. I would like to make 5 footstep this way. Is that something I can do? There we go. Is that 5 foot?
Yeah, that's 5 foot.
Okay. The grid does not align, and it is blowing Bernard's mind.
Oh, are you off a little bit? Or are you too big?
Yeah, both of them are slightly off.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. There we go. No, Millie, you are bad, and I will bash them with my shield drill. What now that I am in Solarian mode? I will target the creature, bear my glowing drill shield made of dark blue light, and try and... No, Millie, down. There we go. It's a 21 to hit against Millie.
And it hits.
Excellent stuff. Here we go. Is another one. For not too much in the damage ways. No, Millie, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just trying to... I'm slowly turning into a vampire. Oh, I get +1 to damage rolls as well. So it's a 6.
6 points of damage to the 13 inflicted on you. Are you done?
A little help in here, guys. Millie's not too good. Not too friendly.
Aster, you're up.
But it's difficult terrain to move through people, isn't it?
Yes.
I can't dash and tumble at the same time. I'm not even going to make the freaking tumble.
Those of you who have just tuned in, usually Starfinder combat is a little bit more ranged. However, given that they had about 2 hours to prepare and didn't really cross-reference anybody's notes, they are all strangely melee-based.
Also based on recent experiences.
Yep, I'm basically going to dash, use double move to get there. 50 foot of movement in total.
Watch out behind me, Esther.
Yeah, you can make it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and is that you done?
That's me done. I'm just like,
Klingle?
Klingle will just let out a vicious, ferocious roar, this huge tiger man. And as a swift action, enter into a frenzy for 1d4 plus 1 rounds.
Nice.
So that'll be 2 rounds I'll be frenzying. And then for my move action, I'm going to run 5, 10, 15 straight up to it. Does that provoke?
No, it does not.
Hey, good to know.
Good news.
And so I'll be getting a +2 bonus to damage and a -1 penalty to AC. I don't think that I don't know if there's a way to turn that on here, so we'll just have to keep that in mind. Yeah, so okay, perfect. There you go. And I, like lunge forward with my flame doshko in hand and bring it down on Millie. You made mistakes! And that'll be a 15 versus KAC?
EAC.
EAC, flame, yes!
Oh, good.
And it's a good job that it is EAC, because KAC would have been a miss. But EAC is a hit.
Okay, so there's me +2 on this damage roll. For 12 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
Jeez.
You are most effective, Klingle.
This is why we keep him around.
Let's just make sure that red dot doesn't show up.
That's Klingle done, yes?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so going to take a 5-foot step back and then whip the tail around to send spines. Can I do this?
No.
I don't actually think I can. I don't think I can get enough of you in there.
Certainly can't get Bernard with you.
Unfortunately, it can get Bernard.
Yeah. Bernard is definitely going to get hit, as is Klingle. Could you both make a reflex saving throw as Millie whips their tail and unleashes a flurry of sharp quills?
Damn.
Saving throw is not a good move.
Natural 1.
He's 11 from Bernard.
All right, you both take 26 points of damage.
Whoa.
26
hello,
points
cat.
of damage. And Bernard is down, I believe.
Oh no.
Yes, that's right.
Wait, that went through
With
all
the
of your
next-
stamina and all of your HP?
Well,
I
it
had
got hit before
23
for
remaining.
stamina, yeah.
Shit. 26, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. As a reaction, I am going to go, Bernard, you better get back up! And I'm using my feet laugh at danger. And so
nice.
My allies will get +2 to their AC for the next round. Not that it's
Nice.
going to help Bernard.
All right. And that is the end of Millie's turn. And Bernard.
I will spend resolve point to stabilize myself. Which is this one, I think. Yes,
Yep.
there we go.
All right. And are you done? Yes.
This is all that Bernard could do.
All right, Aster.
Okay, buddy, how about you get back up in the fight, huh? And I'm going to cast Mystic Cure
Ooh.
on Bernard, which do I have targeted? Please tell me I do.
You do.
Yeah. And he gets 6 hips back.
Nice.
And then for my
what is
movement?
going on?
There we go. I'm gonna go there.
You move around to there. And just want to double check something. Wrong place. This. All right. Klingle, you're up.
So I'm not within attack of opportunity range. This thing doesn't seem to have reach, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay. I don't want to necessarily waste the frenzy, which I mean, it's swift action to proc it, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But it is her turn next. So you know what? I'm frenzying. I'm gonna take a 5-foot step in and attack with the flame doshko.
All right, then.
That's the Klingle I know.
Come on. It's a 10 EAC.
Unfortunately, that is a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Time to target Klingle. It's 27 to hit.
Oh my god. That hits.
Billy's modifier is ridiculous.
Yeah, just a little bit. And 5 points of damage.
Not out, not down yet.
Not down yet. Bernard, you come to consciousness on the floor. You're not used to this.
What kind of action is it to get up?
Move action.
Okay. So he'll get up. Seeing Asta and Klingle still engaging, I feel like we're probably not going to retreat. So Bernard is going to do his thing and come forward.
It looks like
pretty much all you can do, I think.
A thing
sorry?
you're moving through.
Oh, is there? I genuinely can't see.
I'm not sure what
it's probably been trashed and he's down on the floor, given the fact that the description of this room is that, Millie has trashed the room.
Look like
I mean, I do have move action to do that, but it would just...
You're also standing on Aster there.
Yeah. Either way,
exactly,
sorry.
Yeah, I will move up.
All right.
Bear my shield towards it.
So that's your two actions, one to stand up, one to move towards it, yes?
Yes, that is all I have.
All right. Aster, you are up.
Everything is bad. Aster's kind of just gonna face palm a little bit and he's just going to make the creature make a wisdom save. Wait, hold on.
Whizflex.
Will save.
Will save.
Yeah.
Are you sure not a reflex?
I'm sure.
It's an 8.
That is definitely going to be a fail. So you take...
Come on.
17 points of mind damage as I mind thrust it.
What does your spell look like?
It's very glittery. So it's lots of golden threads and like autumn colored leaves.
It's beautiful. Now you stay sleepy, Millie.
Oh, it is so dead.
As Klingle comes out of the frenzy, he's like, yeah! And Pretty Boy said there wasn't going to be any good hunting here.
I never said that.
No, not you. The other pretty guy. And he gives you a
You're
wink.
saying I'm not pretty?
Nah, the other one. Waggles
No,
his...
that was a flesh bag.
Hey, flesh
Anyway.
bags can be pretty too. Pretty tasty.
Yeah. Anyway, I walk over and I slap Klingle on the shoulder, and he gets 10 HP as I healing touch him.
Thank you so
How
much.
did you not get kicked out of the Starfinder Society or filtered out before you joined?
That is the question. That's why we're here.
We are what the Starfinder Society needs.
Goons who will do whatever it takes.
In my experience, I've noticed that most other Starfinders in Society play, like they're firmly neutral, so we're not that far off. Well, Klingle isn't.
Yeah, the Starfinders will let anyone in. They need the numbers.
Yeah, they run through them like nobody's business.
Wonder why when they're sent on missions like this.
I'm looking at Bernard like, you use a healing serum, buddy.
Yes, I will do.
I'm down to 1 spell slot.
Didn't you give them 10 hit points back though?
No, I gave Klingle 10 hit points.
Give me
you get
6 before. Yeah. I'm going to poke the remains of Millie with the other end of the syringe stick. Does anyone know what this thing is?
It's a Millie.
Clearly the beast that was nesting in the on the beautiful ball court, but yeah, never seen anything like it.
Armored squonks. I take a picture of it anyway.
Seems to have sealed.
Everyone.
Been sealed in here.
Get in for a beefy boy selfie. Come on.
He like sticks out a big tongue and raises up 2 claws.
I'm here too. Just about my face. It's someone has sealed Millie in here though, so maybe there are survivors we could find.
Those cowards I sniffed out earlier. You think they shut her in here? Couldn't stand the heat, I guess.
I can see why.
Can I get a life science
out of his
Life science?
Yes.
I'll try and do it untrained.
Yes.
5.
Anybody else for a life science?
Yes.
He's a 3. He's a Millie.
Life science begins with the letter L. Dirty 20.
Oh.
Klingle and Bernard, you're discussing the finer points and the disadvantageous points of Millie. While Astra, you're sort of like looking around the room for any other signs of what Millie might have been. You actually sort of like your attention is drawn to the cracked open chitinous exoskeletons that are littering the floor. And you recognize them from some of your previous Starfinder endeavors. These are remains of a Jinsel.
A what?
Yes. I remember the Jinsel, but for those in my team that may not remember, do we have like a categorized image of them?
We might have a categorized image of them that you can relay to them in a flashback.
The Starfinder database, surely. Oh,
that would be a
What
Jinsel.
the fuck?
Oh, it's those things.
It's those things.
Oh no, I have met those things.
It's what octopuses evolved from.
It's holding a fucking assault rifle.
It is holding an assault
Oh
rifle.
my god.
Is it?
It looks really
biomechanical?
happy to be riding that, holding the assault rifle too. Can you see its little eye?
Well, I'd be happy
Like-
holding it too, but still.
I got a gun.
Wait, so these things hatched here, or these are the dead bodies of them?
As far as Astra can tell, they're the dead bodies of.
Oh.
So Millie killed these things, we're thinking?
And then attempted to escape the room, yes.
Okay.
Poor thing was just scared, but now it's dead. Oh well.
Poor Millie. Maybe we could have employed them in helping if there are more of these.
You could have rode Millie into battle.
We all could.
Really could have rode me into battle.
We all could have. Yeah. I take some pictures of the gin soul as well for records.
For further information, just as an aside, the Jinsel are the de facto evil entity of the Starfinder Society world. They were behind the Scoured Stars incident, or they were partially contained by the Scoured Stars incident when the God... what was it? The God Shell? The God Seal? The God Shield.
God
was something along them lines.
Yeah, it was like the God Shield or something weird like that.
That came down amongst the Scoured Stars. It was a Jinsel that came out and have been, well, ravishing the civilized space ever since, in some form or another.
You can tell that they're evil because they are purple and squid-like.
But they look so happy holding the little gun.
Is there anything else in this stinky place we want to look at, or
do they have one of their assault rifles?
Maybe some Millie snacks.
You ate. We fed Millie the snacks.
Oh yes, that's true.
Although not enough snacks.
I was going to poke Millie with the sleepy stick, but it was far too late for that.
You sift through the remains and you find a basic set of Lushunta temp weave, 2 leg blades from the Jinsels that function as hook swords, a Vector Graviton pistol, and the remaining supply crates contain 200 feet of titanium alloy cable line and 2 grapplers.
Whoa! I was about to say, that all sounds great. What was it again?
I have just dropped it into the chat because I don't want to repeat it too many times.
Temp weave, that's light armor, right?
Yeah.
We
2
don't
leg
want that.
blades.
Puny armor.
Yeah, the leg blades are
Hook swords.
from the Jinsel, but will function as hook swords.
I wouldn't mind a hook sword, I don't think.
Are they too small for you, or?
Oh, they might be too small for me.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
still...
without time and an engineering bay that you don't think you've come across yet, you're not going to have a chance to resize them.
I would like one of those grapplers though, is the 200 feet of titanium alloy one single length of 200 feet? Or is it like
a whole 200 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably use the hook swords to cut it into smaller pieces if you wish. But at the same token, once it is cut, you cannot rejoin it. You know.
Hold on to it, for sure.
You can tie a knot in it, right? To tie it back together.
Doesn't slip through the grappler too well when you do that. It just kind of goes doink.
The grappler?
Good measure for distance.
I can keep hold of the rope if you want.
Go for it.
Yeah.
These leg blades are kind of neat.
You want them?
I'll take one.
Nah.
And Bernard, you can definitely take the other one.
I will keep one and I'll get it fixed when I need to.
In the meantime, it's a handy toothpick.
Yes. Or I can use it for sport, like club for hitting small balls.
Who wants to... I can carry the temp weave. Lord knows I have the strength for it.
Same.
Would you be opposed to me taking the graviton pistol?
Not opposed.
Go for it.
Somebody getting scared and going for range now.
No? It's in case I'm at the back and can't fire at something. Right. I can't hit something before it's... I get that.
Someone's in the way.
Graviton pistol. What kind of graviton pistol was it? Sorry, because there's different grades.
Vector.
Vector. Excellent. Thank you.
The hook sword does the same amount of damage. It's just KAC and not powered. So if I, use the Doshko for 19. For 19 more minutes, and I'll be glad to have the hook sword.
So it is dramatically more powerful than my shield, but he's far too small.
The cool thing about my giant blood theme is that, like, at level 5, I can wield weapons a size category larger than me at a -2 penalty instead of a -4.
That's cool.
Nice.
Gonna be sweet.
Apparently, the graviton pistol doesn't do any damage.
Quite right. Many security forces and peacekeepers employ graviton pistols, since these weapons deal no damage, but instead push or pull the target. And long rods running in the parallel lines form the barrel-like structure that makes such a pistol easy to identify. So yes.
Okay.
It's got a 15 feet gravitation. I'm guessing if you go looking that up in the armory, it might give you more details.
When you hit a target with a gravitation weapon, you can move that target either towards you or away from you, unless it succeeds at a reflex save. DC equals 10 plus half the weapon's item level plus your dex bonus.
Oh no.
So this is a 5, so it'd be 12 plus dex bonus of Aster, which is
Of nothing.
0.
So DC 12, that's fine.
Well, maximum if you handed it off to anybody else, DC 13.
Phenomenal difference that would make.
And you've got both the grapplers, right?
I've got one.
I don't think it would support my weight very well.
I'll grab it then.
I can run pretty far anyway. It's not too bad.
Don't the bears have a climb speed?
Yes, I can also climb if needed.
Oh, shit. Okay, wow.
Anything else in the room worth of note?
Not that you can find.
Sweet.
I mean, there's a dead Millie in the corner.
Don't remind me.
Poor Millie.
I will make you feel bad about killing this animal.
There's a computer terminal to the south out here, by the way. At least I think it's a computer terminal.
You're quite right. It is a computer terminal.
We super tried to be nice to Millie.
Yeah, she
but
got
how
more
much
than
food
she deserved.
How much food do you eat?
How well my cats eat the amount of food that I feed them, and I tell them to back off. They back off.
Yes,
Well,
but are your cats as
sometimes
big
they
as
do.
you are?
Who looks after? Well, yeah. I mean, it's Klingle's right there.
Hey.
Want me to tippy tappy? Is anybody else?
No, you
Tippy-tappy?
can tippy tappy.
The desk is perfectly sized for me. It's quite nice.
Oh, we got a door over here to the right, too.
We do.
Can I open it?
So many doors.
There was a door up in that corridor as well. There was a couple of doors up in the corridor when I walked by as well.
Bernard, as you go over to the computer, you don't find you find that it's not password protected.
Oh, does it appear to be tampered with, like the door in any way?
Doesn't appear to be tampered with.
Oh, did it have any recently accessed information?
It has music and vid games.
Oh, it's a fun one. I like this one. No secrets, Millie data file, Millie's personal log, anything like that.
Nope, nothing at all.
There are games on here if you want to play.
No.
Sometimes you can get adrenaline going a bit like when play sport, but not the same.
I'm gonna move over to this door.
Yep.
Klingle likes opening doors.
And you open the door. You find more doors.
Mordor. One does not just simply walk into Mordor's. So I'll like come down and like pop one open, peer in. Look at the other one, pop it open, peer in.
Yeah, make me an overall perception
check. I'm checking these, I swear.
2.
Oh.
Say You find that one of the rooms still has something of note. There's a data pad in one. It's locked.
The data
Not
pad?
sure what else. The data pad, yes.
That's been really easy to find. It's just sitting out on top of the dresser.
A red
And
circle around it.
you also see... I shouldn't have copied the name in there because you don't know who anybody is. You don't care about who anybody is on this place. You find a pair of Xeno-Warden boots and a cover seed.
I don't know what either of those things are. They sound neato, though.
Cover seed's cool. Yeah, I've seen this before.
I mean, what is it? Enlighten me because I've not had a chance to look up these things. What is a cover seed?
If I remember correctly, it's a seed that you throw into the ground and it grows cover that you can hide behind. Like you put it into the ground in a dangerous situation.
Oh.
Like the feet, they, pop up some
Fabricate barricade.
Yes, it's similar to that, but it's a little plant you put in the ground and it grows.
I'm going to pop into
Unfortunately,
one of these rooms and lay on the bed.
Did you find any big beds?
No big beds, just regular beds. And he curls up into a ball on at the top, on top of the pillow. Kind of kneads it for a minute.
The Xeno-Warden's boots are magical, but I have no idea what they do. Because I can't, because it's cast as a magical item, it's not been identified.
Oh,
Sort of thing.
just drop it into your inventory.
I think it's difficult terrain related, if I recall.
Yeah, it's going to be something walkable. Nope, the other information is still blank.
Yep,
I'll look it up.
great stuff. Yeah, if you could. They're only worth like 80 credits, so...
Yeah, they're not
Who
going to be
knows?
great.
They can't be that good.
Do you know Warden boots are able to defeat gentle troopers in a single kick? That's what it says here.
Yeah, can I get sources on that?
Crafted from plant
defeat
fibers
what?
and reinforced with magical energy. While wearing a pair of Xeno-Warden's boots, each round you can move through up to 10 feet of difficult terrain caused by heavy undergrowth or other natural plant-based obstacles without reducing your speed.
That's kind of cool.
Yet in this modern society of rock and concrete,
Not useful.
only worth 80 credits.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, us plant-based things just aren't appreciated as much as we should be.
So the cover seed grows, I think, and becomes difficult terrain created by vines. So I suppose
Yeah.
you could pair the two together.
Do you have to put the cover seed into dirt or anything like that?
No, you just throw it like a grenade.
Ah.
Get out.
You squeeze it and throw it, and it.
Pops out into vines.
There's a
and then you
move
can...
action too.
Oh,
Nice.
that's not bad. Especially if you combine it with the boots.
Yeah, if you're not throwing it, it's a move action. If you are throwing it, it's a standard action.
Can we take a little cat nap here?
I will always let people take naps. I am 100%. Oh my god. Okay, you're not fitting down that corridor, my friend.
No, I'm going to sleep out here in the.
I mean, sleep on
Millie
the
nest.
armored squonks' bed.
Yeah, Millie
Yes.
made a bed for you. And do a quick 10-minute. How much does your mystic healing do?
My mystic cure is in the spell.
No, the...
The healing touch,
Yeah.
10 at this level.
Okay.
But you can only do it once per day. Once per day you can spend 10 minutes to magically heal an ally up to 5 hit points per mystic level, which is 10, given you're level 2.
You want to hold on to that?
I've already used it on you.
Oh, I thought that was the Mystic Cure. Okay, never mind. Okay, cool. Well, great.
So I can rest in the nest for a little while, but that will be my last RP point.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, we've only got 2. Well, I've only got 2 at this level.
Yes.
How?
I don't have... But my main stat, it may be wisdom, but it's not my main stat.
Oh my god.
I forgot that Solarians were about charisma rather than strength.
Yo. Klingo's like standing in front, on top, in front of y'all, and like shaking his head.
So just a heads up, if I do go down, I might not be up so quickly.
It's okay, I have stabilize.
Yeah, I got this med patch, but still. Ugh.
It's all good.
Okay, sweet.
Are we going south or are we going north now?
You said there were doors up there?
There are doors up here.
Maybe we clear it from top to bottom. That sounds like a military operation, right?
Yeah, it's good hunting tactics too. You link arms, walk through the trees, scare out the prey.
They'll offer you some of the plant bushes, plant things like as you were talking about walking through the trees. Yeah.
We'll do top to bottom then. First we'll go with this room. Or we could do both at a time and make the eternal voice in the sky cry.
I mean, the top is that room.
Oh, is the top that way?
Oh, there's more.
I didn't know that.
Bernard, do you mind if I go first?
Yes, I'll go behind you. Don't worry.
It's easier for us to move if we're in front of you.
It will take me a while to get down there.
Is this another window here looking out onto the asteroid?
It is.
Cool.
Door, door, door.
Just hear scraping down either side of this corridor. His heavy armor dragging along the metal, the stonework.
I will look at the door and then open the door.
I'm sorry. Just trying to get some stuff. You're looking at the door and then opening it.
Yeah.
All right, making me a perception check. Try and remember which room that is.
It's a 4. I identify it as a door.
It is indeed a door.
Do I at least know if it's a mechanical or a manual?
No, you're just going to have to open it and see how it goes.
In a moment of weakness, you see Lotus just scrabble at the door, unsure if it has a handle or not, and trying to open the door.
Oh my god.
We believe in you, Aster. You can do it.
Is it a push? Is it a pull? Or is it a slidey door? I don't know. I open the door.
You open the door, and I have covered up the button I need to reveal.
You solved the wall puzzle. Well done.
No wall. Oh no. I look down the corridor back where Bernard is looming around the corner. I look at this tiny computer room. Like
workstations and blinking monitors cover the walls of this room, indicating the equipment is still functional.
I take a peek in, and then on all fours, like, run and scramble underneath Bernard's legs back to this door.
Is there threats? Oh no, actually,
there's computers.
Klingle would not be running from threat.
Is there space underneath the consoles to maybe just sit underneath it while Bernard stands looming?
I mean, Bernard can fit there.
Just like parks himself down, back legs down, stretch out his long claws. It's good typing, I guess. Is it an accessible system?
Yes, it's an accessible system. Time to make further tippy tappy.
Any more video games on this one?
It's password protected, so you're gonna need to hack past that.
Let's try melee 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's a 15 from Bernard's Tippy Tappy.
Unfortunately, it is not melee 1, 2, 3.
I could spend some time trying to work this out if you don't mind waiting. Well, actually, I asked the GM, can I spend time to work it out, or is it...
No, you get the feeling that you could give it another try.
Like, something like taking 20, you feel like the password's going to be...
I have a feeling that you need to keep trying, not
cool.
just taking 20.
No worries. I will try melee 1, 2, 3, 4. Good one. Nice, much worse. It's an 8. Maybe the melee thing isn't great.
Unfortunately, you still failed to break into this computer.
What's the name of the fruit? I forgot the name of the fruit.
Now you're asking.
Sour shot.
I will try sour shot. Here we go. I don't know how many times I can try this, guys, but let's give it a go. Is it dirty 20?
Our dirty 20 gets it, and you manage to get into the system. It mainly seems to be communication logs. And you can identify that somebody recently used this array to attempt several calls to a ship with identification data that doesn't match any common Pact Worlds database.
Does it look like Squidman spaceship?
You're not sure. You've not encountered Squidman.
Okay, only dead ones.
Yeah, only the dead ones.
So can we take a copy of that data?
Are you taking a copy of the data?
Yes.
All right.
Is there any information about the last log that they sent?
It just seems to be trying to make the call. It doesn't successfully make.
Okay.
What were those things called again?
The squid
Jinsul.
things.
Yeah.
Jinsul.
How do you spell that?
Jinsul.
Insole. This is cool. I've always kind of wondered what the whole Scoured Stars thing was. So it's like learning a little bit of the lore.
They actually ran the Scoured Stars mission, where there was a whole I forgot what they call it. An epic, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, an epic where it's multi-tables all running simultaneously on the same Starfinder scenario. God, it was a headache. It was just, I think it was like 8 hours of just manic GMing, trying to get through all of the content in time, but you've got to try and keep up with the rest of the groups also doing it.
So we could potentially log these characters as like level 1 Starfinder characters.
And play them in official society play.
Well, I guess technically I can't be a Patra. Do you have to like unlock it or something?
Yeah, you need
you do.
pieces of paper for this, that, and the other. It's one of the things that kind of, it's all, I appreciate in some forms why they do it. Sorry, chat, this is getting a little bit meta, but it's one of them where it's like, we got time. The Starfinder Society requires you to attend certain things to get certain pieces of the paper. And one of the things that I always wanted to play is an uplifted bear. Could I find which piece of paper I needed to play an uplifted bear and get a hold of said piece of paper? Nope.
No.
I've heard rumors that it's out there, but I still don't know how I'm supposed to get hold of it.
I did hear that Skittermander is available for play. I think
Yeah, if you play the first Skitter shot, you get a completion sheet to say that you've played it, and then you get a sheet which then you then have to play. Is it 50 games?
I think you need 32 points Now, for each Starfinder Society game that you play in, you get 1 point. For every Starfinder Society game you run, you get 2 points. For every AP that you play, you get 2 points. For every AP that you GM, you get 3 points. And for every epic you GM, you get 3 points. It's just one of them. It took me the best part of a year to unlock the Skittermander.
There have been 2 races that have been available at the end of playing a scenario, though. The Space Pixies being one of them.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, if you went down a particular route on one of the adventure scenarios and sided with the Space Pixies, you then unlocked the Space Pixies. The other one were these weird the coral people, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me know, because I got a level 2 Android Envoy that still needs to be leveled up.
The more you know.
I've done 4 sessions with them, just enough to be level 2 plus 1.
I'm a 2-star. I'm a 2 Nova GM for Starfinder Society, which isn't much, but it's one of them where it's like I keep meaning to log everything that I run, but it's one of them where it's like I just despise paperwork.
Yep. I did sign up for.
Door.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'm in front of another door, I think.
The one to your left?
Yes.
All right.
Is there anything else of note on this computer?
There was nothing else of note on that computer as far as I just double check.
Big room. And I'll immediately go over here and open this door so that we can see everything.
Yep.
I call dibs.
Oh, could you make me another computers check, Bernard? Sorry.
Yes. One less TP type before I leave. It's 22.
You find and access a secure module on the computer database containing blueprints of the outpost, included those of a backup of the backup starship hangar.
Look, I will relay this information to the team. They've got rough layout of the building now.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
There is a secret or auxiliary hangar of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a free ship. Or survivors, whichever comes first.
The room that you are in is further up the sheet. The beds in this room are stripped of bedding, exposing bare, shredded mattresses. The blankets and stuffing are piled into the corner into a haphazardous nest befouled by an unknown creature.
Millie? Or something else?
Not Millie, too.
I think this would have been something else, surely. I mean, I don't think Millie can get down here very well.
I wouldn't want to go in there. It'd be a room about the same size.
In the bathroom?
The bathroom is just that. It is a bathroom.
Not in great shape.
Are you turning over the room looking for things?
I'll do a quick scan, but if nothing sticks out to me, I probably won't.
Give me a perception check.
2 again. Yeah, he's bored. He's starting to get bored now after that nap.
Yeah, you managed to find some discarded gear underneath the bed.
Hey.
Which... Oh, wait, no. Don't copy the one which is level 3 to 4. A Tremor Boomer rifle.
Oh.
A Red Star Nova lance.
What?
And a suit of officer ceremonial plate.
Holy shit!
This is good stuff.
Look at this.
This is how you get paid in this adventure.
And you didn't want to look through the room.
I didn't. I should have, because this room's clearly so fancy. Glad I looked under the bed, though. Ceremonial plate, eh?
Officer ceremonial plate.
Just
It might be slightly better than yours.
than the ceremonial play officer. Yeah, yes, it's better. There is a speed adjustment, but hey.
Oh, it's better. It's better than
I think it's the best suit of armor.
Yeah.
It's a level 4 heavy armor.
All right, Aster,
Mine's slightly better.
Aster, you want to rock, paper, scissors over this?
I do want to rock paper. Well, you're kind of wearing lesser armor than mine, so I'd feel bad if I took it. But yeah, no, what? Screw it. I'm going to be selfish.
Yeah,
rock,
I was
paper,
going to
scissors
say, he
for
just
it.
kind of like looks at you like, feel bad. What?
What?
You want to just roll 1d3?
Yes.
Rock, paper,
give me a minute.
scissors?
Rock, 1D. How do I roll a 3?
Right click on the D6.
I typed
and
it.
it will give you the cost. Oh, right, yeah. There's also / roll 1d3.
I got a 2.
I also got a 2. We go again.
You both drew paper.
3.
1. It's yours.
Aha! Rock smashes scissors.
Ow, you don't need to break my fingers. What the hell? Doesn't mean you literally punch me.
He like slammed his fist down on your hands.
Yeah, just
As nobody's paid attention to the Red Star Nova Lance. I don't know what
that was
that
next
is.
in the list.
Okay.
It does. Just a second ago. It's a 1d4 electric and fire.
It's an advanced melee weapon, so it's right out.
It's got a reach.
Asta looks at it and goes, "Nah."
Which I suppose is the real benefit to it.
It's got reach. It's got the wound critical.
I don't think I have the appropriate skills.
Oh
no, I do.
That brought my EAC and KC up by 3.
Nice.
Damn. How do I look? Regal, fancy.
You look super fancy.
What kind
You
of...
can see Asta's looking
Officer,
like
sir.
really annoyed because it looks glamorous and he's into it, and it's just like it's on this cat who doesn't appreciate the aesthetics. And
Hey, I got a +1 charisma as he licks his eyebrows and kind of like moves his fur back over his head.
Asta looks back at you in +1 charisma and goes, Whether he leaves perfect, I think not.
But it lowers my
Lance
speed, right?
I mean, yeah, it should do. I don't think it does it automatically though.
No, it doesn't. You put it's the magnifying glass next to the initiative box that you want to press to sort that out for yourself.
I see. 25. Oh, no. It needs to be -5. Oop, not 56. -5. There we go. Thank you.
That lance looks quite useful. Oh, I'm Scottish. That lance looks quite useful. Slimsy, be quiet and keep watching the film.
There's also the rifle.
The reach of the lance would mean that maybe you could get around and I could still poke things.
Wait, am I getting
blocking
everything
away so
here?
much?
Am I seriously getting all of these? Well, the rifle's a long arm. Can either of you use those?
No.
I feel kind of bad.
Only the lance would be of use to me.
And it uses
But you'd have to
shells.
find somewhere to upsize it.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a wee thing. Although it's a lance, though. I feel like it's like.
So if you try to use a weapon that isn't of your size category, there is a penalty to it.
Take the lance. Because I'm approaching encumberdness. All of
If
this
you've
stuff.
got anything you don't need to carry, you can take the lance if you can use it, and then maybe you might be able to reach whilst I'm close.
You already have a hook sword, right?
Yes, I've got lots of carry weight available for.
I mean, I'll take the lance. I'll carry it for now. Oh shit! All of this shit.
Soldiers, very good.
It's Klingle's birthday.
Star Nova lance. Interesting.
Anybody looked up the Tremor Boomer rifle?
What star? Red star. Got it. And the boomer rifle uses shells. It's like a shotgun.
Yeah.
A two-handed lance, 1d4. Interesting.
Oh, is it two-handed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd be able to use it anyway. I don't think. They have shield.
Oh, right. And the boomer rifle does 1d8 sonic damage and deafens on a crit. Is there ammo in it? Because it only has 3.
I will give you ammo in it.
Okay. Oh, well. Look at this. All of a sudden, Klingle turns around and he's got all of these weapons on him and straps. This new fancy armor. It's an officer's armor. What's the uniform? Starfinder?
Probably Starfinder.
Yeah, it's probably Starfinders.
Oh, I look like a Starfinder officer. Big time ranks here. I'm calling the shots now.
Yes, sir. We're all
Yes,
dead.
sir. You certainly look like the cat's pajamas right now. Well done.
What did you just say?
It's a term that we...
What did you just say to me?
You look like cat's pajamas, sir. I'm sorry.
That's right. And he pats you on the back.
Kicking open the door.
Kicking open the door.
So I officially cannot get any new items, y'all. You guys got to take it away from me.
This seems to be a small office that is looking out over the surface of the asteroid. There is a computer that seems to be still functional, although it's been pushed to the floor.
I push it towards the doorway.
Appreciated.
And then can I search the room?
Yeah. Make me a perception check to search the room.
I'm actually going to go in the mirror over here. Check out my
That's a
new
12
stuff.
from me.
There doesn't seem to be much of value in this room,
I'm just going to
other
sit
than
on
the computers.
I'm going to sit on the swivelly chair until everyone's done in the hallway.
Yep. Bernard, are you doing the tippy-tappy?
This computer that slides out into the hallway, does it look functional?
Yes, it looks functional.
Okay, yeah, then. Thank you for sliding the keyboard out with it. And I'll start tippy-tapping, sit on the floor, start tippy-tapping away. It is a 16.
It's a little bit difficult, but you managed to break into it. The computer seems to hold just minutiae of details of records of the day-to-day operations of this outpost, and as well as the past reports signed by Dr. Ordiz to Absalon Station. However, one of the things that you do find in there is an unsent draft. And I just need to double check. It is this one. Yep.
It's another letter. A draft of a letter from Dr. Ordez. I hope this reaches you before you send the relief team. This message doesn't fare well, my friends.
No.
We've recently discovered that one of the most intact starship fragments to date, and inside it was a creature held in stasis. Foolish researchers. The specimen demands further study back on Absalom Station. I'd like to bring it with us when we return for station leave. I'm requesting you prepare the ship to transport a large omnivorous animal of unknown origin. It could be Millie, it could be something much, much worse.
So maybe we could have gotten money for getting her alive.
We still might get money for bringing her dead.
All right.
This is true. Poor Millie.
Poor Millie.
Whatever. Okay, heading back down.
Slide the computer back into the office before filling the rest of the corridor on the way down.
But as we head towards the doors down here.
I love setting these waypoints.
Yeah, it's the door down here. It's just the one door down here now.
The other one door
There's
there.
two
And the one on the
technically,
left.
isn't
One there.
Yeah.
One there, one there, and the only other door you've not been through yet is this one over here.
Oh, on the far left.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Many doors in this place.
Who knows?
All of them very small.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that first door was good. I enjoyed that.
And as you approach the doors, the screen fades to black and a message burns brightly in the middle of the screen. Please insert disc 2.
God damn it, these old world freaking DVDs.
You told me we were streaming this.
There ain't no streaming services in the drift.
Yeva's like, find the disc and I will go make more popcorn.
Well, give me a minute. I'll rummage through.
And that is where we're going to leave it this week. I hope everybody who's joined us, I appreciate it, that this is a bit of a change of pace to what you were expecting. But unfortunately, unexpected things have happened, and we're just trying to figure out how to deal with these. I have been Karen Russmore, and I will continue to remain Karen Russmore. You can usually find me over on my own Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Karen Russmore. So I have a busy schedule. Bear with me. On Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively, I stream Torment Tides of Numenera. This is different from the Cyberpunk that I said that I was streaming, but apparently I finished that already.
So many changes.
So it's back to double Torment Tides of Numenera, Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Fridays, I stream Hitman 3 in sort of like practice for the season of Elusive Targets, and that is a 9 p.m. start. I think that just about covers me. I'll be back here next Monday at 7 p.m., all being well. Bernard.
I'm JStation64. I've been playing Bernard and Flimsy the Dwarf. When I'm not having a crisis of identity, you can find me playing No Man's Sky at 9 p.m. Doing chilled exploration. I found a free starship which I'm upgrading, which I'm quite excited to do next week, called The Reflection of Death.
What day is that? Sorry.
That's on Thursdays. And then on Saturday 9:30 a.m., I am riding out in Wild West on Red Dead Redemption 2, trying to be a bad guy. Chiron sitting in my ear, trying to make me do evil things, whilst it's me having difficulty doing evil things, especially that time of the morning. But yeah, that's me streaming. Other than that, you'll catch me here on Mondays.
Kringle, sorry.
Klingle. Hi, I'm Krifu Bernal. I am a streamer and tabletop role-playing game content creator and producer here at Manapod Studios. You can see me over at my Twitch channel as well, Crifu Bernal. Let's see, for my TTRPG stuff, tomorrow we're back at Manapod Studios, 12 p.m. GMT with, I think, the penultimate episode of Blood on the Bayou, a 1920s Vampire the Masquerade 5e stream, where I play a gangrel cowboy. And then on Friday, I've moved my solo Pathfinder game of Skull and Shackles called The Spear and the Sea to Fridays, because it just makes more sense. And so you can see me there where I'm going through, I'm literally prepping for the boss fight of this dungeon delve. It should be pretty sweet. Otherwise, if you enjoyed our session today, feel free to join the Discord so you can chat with us about the various things and see what other games and shows are coming up at Manapod Studios. And even fill out the Google form and to let us know if you're interested in streaming with us. We'd love to see you there.
I was on mute. And Astro, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, create commissions. I draw arty things, character art for all sorts of tabletop RPGs and other nonsense. You'll find me on social medias across the board, and if you follow me on there, I do occasionally, very occasionally, stream my random doodles. So, yeah.
All right. Again, thank you very much for joining us this week. Hope to see you all next week, where we conclude Spaceflix and Kill, Part 1. And I hope to see you all there. Bye.
Bye.
Stay tuned for the raid.